This is After Effects Apprentice, Lesson 09Comp01. We're going to learn about motion stabilization in this comp. If you take a look at the video footage they gave us, we have wildebeest crossing the Serengeti. If you look at the watermark that is on this, that was put on later, it is steady, and the footage is bouncing behind it because this was shot on a 16mm camera, and the motion registration is not good on that type of camera. So we are going to stabilize that footage in After Effects. So we will start by highlighting our layer. We will then go to the motion tracking setup. We can either go to Workspace and click Motion Tracking there, or we can go up here in the upper right corner and click Motion Tracking. And here's our tracker plugin. If that is not there, go to Window and make sure it is checked right here. Alright, first thing we're going to do, so remember we're highlighted down here. Now we're going to hit Track Motion, and that is going to open it up. We do want it to track on the wildebeest layer. The tracker is called Tracker 1. We want to click on Stabilize. Position is what we want. In Options, make sure we're set at Luminance, Subpixel Positioning, and 80% confidence. So now we have this tracking point that if you click in the lower box, it'll move around and you'll see it magnifies. You can adjust the shape of this box to meet your needs, but you don't need to for this particular assignment. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a spot down here. Because we're doing a luminance tracking, we want to find a spot down here where the contrast, the difference between light and dark, is very extreme. And we will pick this spot right there. We'll see that the tracker is within our video footage. Let's make sure that we are all the way home before we start, because it will start writing the data from wherever we are. And note that once we started this tracking, we jumped out of our composition and we're now in this layer panel, and this is where we need to be to do motion tracking. Now what we're going to do is we could go frame by frame, and if you look down here you'll see that we are writing keyframes. You could do it frame by frame, or we can just hit play and it will just play the footage and track it. And this will work really well until the silhouette of the wildebeest crosses that frame, and then we'll need to do a little bit of fixing. And see how it goes crazy once the wildebeest shows up? So now I'm going to magnify the footage, and we're going to go to where the let's open up the on this field I'm going to hit letter U to open up our keyframes, and right here is where it starts to go crazy. So we are going to drag that keyframe. Come on, keyframe. No. Undo. We want to drag this keyframe back in here. And then I'm going to hit page down to go to the next frame. And I'm going to drag this keyframe. And we'll do this keyframe. And we're just going to kind of drag them in the rough spot where they were before. Almost done. There we go. So now the keyframes are pretty much where they need to be. And now we are going to click Apply. And we want to do X and Y positioning. And so basically it has written now anchor point data right here. So now let's play the footage. And we'll see that Art Beats is bouncing around, and we're kind of leaving the edge of our footage in order to do it. Let's see how it behaves once our wildebeest gets over here. It looks pretty good. So now all we have to do is just slightly inflate our footage. Let's see if 101% is enough. Alright, so this is what it looks like. I've expanded it so that we have a clean edge. The Art Beats is bouncing around, which shows that the wildebeests are stable, and render that.